Real Reality, the 14th in a series of songs and explanation by Dave Moorman. At Platteville, Erie, Sherry and Dave became involved in the Walk to Emmaus, a 72-hour retreat that built spiritual discipline through weekly group meetings. The church youth were clever, talented kids who enjoyed putting on skits. And the previous pastor had started a praise band for contemporary worship. And Dave was asked to put together a video for the annual conference session. The junior college editing equipment he used earlier was many miles away, so it was time to get a Windows computer. Dave bought the fastest machine he could afford, plus a video card to handle importing and exporting movies. The software was ULEAD Studio, which turned the screen into a traditional editing table. Virtual strips of film could be cut, connected, faded, and much more. Layers of sound could play underneath. And titles would magically scroll over the images. Watching video come streaming out of the computer and into his VCR was nothing less than magic, to Dave's C64 eyes. The computer was fast enough to pretend to be a Commodore 64, and a couple of emulator programs were available on the internet. Now Dave could do even more on his antiquated platform, including using a mouse and bits of video. Bill and Mildred celebrated their 50th wedding anniversary in November, 1998, so Sherry and Dave traveled by plane, bus, metro and train to Virginia in order to surprise them. Ultimately, the family held 3 anniversary celebrations. The first was in Virginia, then in May at Mildred's home area, Minneapolis, Kansas, and Bill's hometown, Nickerson, Kansas. Once Dave has created a presentation, it just makes sense to do it more than once. Then things began to disintegrate. A couple of church members wanted altar calls. Dave told them, "We do altar calls every month, when we have communion." The praise band wanted a celebratory worship service, while a number of people wanted to stay traditional. Dave organized 2 services, which pleased no one. The congregation picked sides and a big blowout ensued. Several tithing families left for other United Methodist churches, and Dave realized that his salary was not going to be underwritten by the reduced church income. His metaphorical boat didn't even have a motor, and now he was frantically rowing upstream. Bill's cancer entered the final stage. Dave and Sherry drove to Fredericksburg, Virginia, and Bill looked terrible. Mildred's macular degeneration greatly limited her abilities. Dave met with his bishop to discuss the situation at the church and his own difficulties, and took family health leave so they could be with Bill and Mildred through the struggle. When they moved to Fredericksburg, Bill went to his doctor in Charlottesville and got the really bad news. Chemo was not working. His cancer was in his bones. And Dave discovered that living with grown parents through illness is a great way to face years of mother and father issues. Thanks for listening. Be sure to click like and subscribe to hear more of Dave's life in music.